we are doing the Sector 4 Mega Turbine from the Industrial Hive set. It's a really big circle, so you generally know how this is going to go. And yes, I've still got the fans on, so there is a possibility there's going to be another voiceover. Right, I'm going to strip this down and then we'll put it together. You ready? Okay, let's talk about this. You can't see everything. There's bits over here, there's all this. There's still a frame and a half of stuff, which is the stairs. There is just so much to this kit. I can't get it all on the table. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start building it, and I will continue cutting stuff out afterwards as we go along and clear space. Now, firstly, we have to build the base, which is these bits. They all obviously connect up, like so, and make the circle. I am not going to have enough room to get this on here. And make the circle. Now, if you look at the instructions, it does look like it uses these bits. It's just the way it's drawn. These bits are all for the top, not for the bottom. Just move stuff out of the way, because as I said, this is going to be huge. Okay, that looks like there may be a piece of something else that goes in there, because I've got two left. And that makes no sense. But there's too much. So, what have I got wrong? Oh no, there we go. There's one left. There must be a spare. We will find out. Now, these slot like so, and then like so, go in there. This joins them together as it goes round, and obviously you've got the whole circle to do. I'm going to do this, but I'm going to glue it, and then we'll come back once I've got the whole ring made, okay? So give me 5 minutes to go glue all this up and stick it all down, and then we'll get on to the next bit. So it would appear once you get all the tops in, it uses all the bottoms and makes the full circle. So once you've done that, it does suggest, where's the little one? There is a little circle just here. And for that, we have to use these pieces. I'm guessing we don't use all of them, we just use a lot of them. We may use all of them. Now, it has got a V on it, just here, which is meant to help you work out which way round it goes. So that is the bottom. So the V goes towards the bottom, and obviously these slot in to there. We go all the way around on these. Guess what? I'm going to go glue these in. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so it did use all of them. And what comes next is this bit. Now, this is clearly some kind of paddle. I had to cut these out. They're like a little fork. That slots into there, like so. Makes the cross. And then that slots into here. Like so. Now, these are going to be awkward, and there are loads of them, and I don't know if I should glue them or not, or just use friction. At the minute I'm just going to use the friction. Annoyingly, the top, as it sits, see, that one's loose, that one's tight, that makes no sense. They're going to pull the weight away from the top, so it might be an idea to actually put the top on this before you do this, but I haven't found out where the top is yet, and I can't find another circle. You see, there's just that. I don't know how this works. Or how this fits. Oh, yes I do. I just realised that. It's these bits. So these are going to mount in there and then mount against the edge. Right. I will get these blades done, and then I will get to the next section. There you go. That's all the blades in. As you can see, they fit snugly round. This one, when I pushed it in, did actually crack the MDF, so I may have to look at switching that out at some point. But now we mount these bits. Now, it's 3 pegs. It shouldn't be hard, should it, really? But we all know what I'm like. So let's try and balance this out without getting my ugly mugging shots. Nope, this isn't going to work. Right, this is going to be an absolute disaster. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it out of the netting, Put that to one side. Let's just put this to one side, kind of. So there. And I am going to struggle to try and line this up. Is that the broken one? Yes, that is the broken one. So that is my middle. You know what? Where's the file? Let's do our traditional take the corners off. To give us a better perch on the way down. There we go. I still don't guarantee this is going to work, but you know what it's like. Pointy bit to the middle. Let's just line that one up there. No, this really isn't going to go. This, you know how I like to do things upside down? Guess what? It's a shame because they're all glued. There's the broken one. There you go, you can see the kink in that there where I broke it, just slightly too much force. So put it straight. We're going to try and slot that in there. In it goes. We'll do the next one. In it goes. We'll do the first one. Make sure it's the way around, it's not going to slot. It's not going to slot. There we go. And remember, they've got to overlap. So you need to start at one end and work your way around, and then we'll try and put this back in here. Wish me luck, because I think I'm going to need it. Oh yeah, that's a lot easier to do. So, do this bit first, and then do the bit underneath. I'm going to take this away now and get this finished and get it hooked into the main bit. And then we'll see what it looks like afterwards. Oh, okay, so we got that put together. It didn't take as long as you'd think. Now, from here, this bit needs to glue into the middle there. Just line it up. I haven't glued any of this. This has all been just push fitted in. I am going to glue this bit in because, I'll be honest with you, if it falls to bits, I don't really want to do this bit again. So we'll just, lots of glue. That's way too much glue. We're just going to line that up neatly so it sits in the middle. Now, I am going to glue these in. These are the outer edges. And whatever that was these connections. Right, push those out there. So these are the outer sections. I am just going to run, remember to put your burn marks or your detail points to the outside. Because if you bury them, it's going to become a problem. I am just going to glue these quickly, run bead glue around it. Not too thick, just to give it that extra little bit, see? And then we try to line them up on here very carefully. Down slowly. And we all know this is the bit I struggle at. There we go. Oh well, that went in first time. I bet I can't do it again. You're not going to find out. I'm going to go do the rest of it and then I'll be back. Okay, putting the thing to one side, what comes next are these squares. Now clearly this is a danger hatch. This is some kind of vent. There are several. We're just going to grab these two to start with. Now, it appears we use these bits, but it's not that clear which way round they go. So what I think, and I could be wrong, is that goes in there like that. And then in there like that. Oh look, some go in really easily, some don't. And then this goes in there like, go on, go in. As I said, some go in really easily, some don't. I'm just going to grab a file, we're just going to go dum 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 dum. Put that one back in. Try and put this one back in. And there are, on the sheet, actually on the sheet that I haven't finished yet, there are still loads of these. There we go, that's those four. I'll just do the other side. Yep, that appears to be how they go. And we'll just scroll down slightly. Oh no, look! So, on here, these holes this way done, we want the gap under the bridge, and we want the bit with the hatch on it, and then this goes on there, and those bits slot into these holes. And you can see what I'm going to say in a second. This might actually be easier to push these into here. Do you know what? I don't know. I'm not sure. They seem to go in quite snugly. There we go. That's in. That's in. That's not in. That is in now. That one's in. Nah, that's not going to go. And that one's not going to go. So I'm going to go have a play with this and try and get them all lined up and in. And we'll get on to the next part once that's all done. Okie dokie. So that's all of the sides on. They're all glued in place and put on. You want to be careful because these are quite flimsy. These bits, they will go in. They're a bit of a pain, but they can also snap and break. That's why I glued them. Also, it reinforces the structure itself. Also, this hatch here, I thought I'd better glue that in. It's not actually on the plans to tell you to do that. So, what is next? Well, from here on out, I'm not gluing anything on. Because, obviously, once it's built, when I want to store it, this is easier to store as a wheel than it is as that. And obviously the piping, well, I have the other piping section, so I may end up running other pipes off it. And so on. I may not use the stairs. You've seen me build stairs before. You know how that works. You've seen me build these pipes before. So all in all, I may not put them together. I will show you how these rails at the top go. I will build them all though and show you it all built at the end and slot them together. For example, these bits. Let's get this out of the way. So, these are staircases. And this is next on my list of things to build. So I don't think we've ever built these before. Now we need a short one and a long one. The long one goes at the bottom, the short one goes at the top. And these, the longer section, slots through there like that. That one slots through there like that. And this connects onto there like this. Obviously this should be glued. There you go, done. And then I think it's the thinner ones, not the thick ones, because there's a thick one, as you can see, and there's a thinner one. I think the thick one goes at the bottom, he says. I could be wrong, but looking at that, that seems to be how it goes, is the thick one. That doesn't go in there at all. It may go that way around. And then the thinner ones slot on top. That seems wrong. That there? I'm not actually sure. That's a thick one. Thin one. So yeah, the thin ones seem to slot in like this, upside down. So they kind of point towards the top. The thick one makes up the bottom bar. I'm going to guess the thick one makes up the top as well. Yeah, thick one probably goes at the back as well. Oh no, that doesn't fit in there. No, that doesn't fit in there. Okay. These though definitely need gluing. They're very loosely fitting. It fits on this edge, it doesn't fit on this edge. Let's just get the file out. which I dropped. There it is. No, that's not it. That's off something else. Let's find the new file. Oh no, I dropped the file. I'll find it later. So we'll use that one. There it is. And it's just... It might just be this is too... Just file that back. See if that works. It doesn't appear to. See what I mean about them being quite flimsy? They fell out. They had already fallen out. Let's just try that there again. Put that there. There you go. That appears to be how it goes. And then that slots into that edge. I believe. Like that. There you go. And it gives you the pipe ducts going down. Well, these ones, which are the hatches at the end, and you've seen me build before, will got to remember to put the circle in, of course. There's one, there's two, there's three. Okay, you've seen me build these things before. I think it was Sector 4 last time I built them on. And then obviously these ones just mount up around the middle. And there are loads of them because I think there's 4 of these to make. It is easier if you've got both ends. And glue, because as you can see they're already falling out. So it will need to be glued. Yeah. I'm not a fan of these, I'll be honest. There you go, another one's falling out. And obviously that would slot into there. Like that. Obviously if all the bits were lined up and it was glued. So I'm going to go build those, and I'll build the ladders. And I'll get them glued up and done, and then we'll finish off showing you how these work. These are quite cool, to be honest. They have these corner bits like so, slot up. You glue them in place, it's the easy way to do it, and then they just click on the side, like any of the attachable scenery that you have floating around for these things. So right, with that done, I will now go finish this, and we'll do the glamour shots at the end. Alright, see you in a bit. Okay, we're going to have a quick talk about these things. I haven't glued them. Some of them, they are thicker than others. They need to be sanded down to get them in. I also did them the wrong way around in the last video. So, thin bar at the top, plate going forward. Now, on the instructions, it does look like the bottom one should be the thick one, and the top one should be the thick one, and then the middle should be the small ones. Didn't work on this one. The thick ones were too thick. I still had to sand them down to get them in. Same with these. And like, obviously there's a slightly thinner one and there's a slightly wider one. It's yeah, they're a bit of a pain in the neck to get on. I'm guessing every kit might be slightly different because they are laser cut. But there you go, that's the 4 of them done. I'm not going to glue them on the side. I'm going to put them on as and when we need it. I am obviously going to glue them because you saw how easy they just all fell out. Right, now I've done that, I will leave you to it and get on with these. And here we go. That's the whole thing done. All built, all ready to go. It is massive. It takes up most of the A3 board that we use beneath it. Right, so that is the Sector 4 Mega Turbine complete. Now to get it painted, obviously you're not going to see that. Right, on to something new. See you later.